4 different speakers, 4 different venues, 4 different topics. It's the Alwaleed Centre's Islamic Civilisation lecture series. From rugs to astronomy, from art to medicine, these lectures are all about uncovering the hidden past of Islamic achievements and their contribution to life today.
If we look television, open the newspapers, we have a very, let's say, fragmented view to the Islamic world. We learn about terror, we learn about violence, we learn about crisis, but we don't learn about the rich cultural history of Muslim societies, legacies which are of world-class importance and which are very much connected to our own heritage history. So we are very much in need to learn much more about the cultural legacies of Muslim societies in the past and also how they are important to us in the present.
We are very grateful that so many people are interested in Islamic civilization. It's a fascinating topic. Nowadays, there's so many negative stories about Islam and the cultures in the Middle East. So this is not the truth. So we want to tell people the real stories about Muslims and also the rich culture in Islamic world. So there is an interest, really growing interest about the subject. So we want to really emphasize this positive reassessment of Islamic cultures here in Scotland.
There's obviously an appetite for this positive reassessment, with the free tickets for these events quickly snapped up. But what is it that's making people so interested in these Islamic civilizations?
Well, it's a great story. It's a story of discovery, of engagement, of transmission of knowledge, of not being afraid of the other, but of always going a step ahead as well. So it's the search for knowledge, and that story of the search for knowledge takes people to other cultures. It takes people through translation to far-flung lands, but at the same time, there's this competition, there's this idea that we should produce ourselves and we should further knowledge. So Hippocrates is a wonderful aphorism: life is short, the art is long. So physicians in the Islamic world were very much aware of that aphorism, were aware of the fact that medicine has a long history.
But even with a positive view of the Islamic world, Muslim culture's great achievements and contribution to knowledge and culture often go unrecognised in the West.
It's a problem. The history is written by the winners. And there is a kind of discourse in the West about science in which it is seen as a heroic adventure, which is specific to the West. And although the studies have shown that the development of science was very complicated and quite erratic in some way, it is written eventually to show that the thing was very linear, and it was not like that. The development of science was complicated. There were many sources out of the European world, and the Islamic source is quite important for understanding what took place in Europe during the 16th and 17th century. So this is something which has to be explained further in the context of a dialogue of civilizations.
The Alwaleed Centre holds lecture series like this one every year. More information about upcoming events and lectures can be found on the Alwaleed Centre's website.